Keep it going for me. Come on, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna start telling you some things about myself. Some of these are overshares off the top. I will let you know out of the bat something you should know about me. I am not a virgin. However, I am a middle-aged man who occasionally needs to tell people he's not a virgin, and that's just way worse. Sex to me is like snowboarding. I've done it enough times to say that I've done it, but not enough times to act like it's something I do. I guess, thank you. I am very, very bad with the opposite sex. I give off a very desperate vibe, which causes them to be a bit standoffish, which is worse as I know I'm giving it off. It was so much better when I didn't know, when I was just oblivious. Because for years I just thought it was traditional for Asian women to catch the next elevator. I am in therapy. I've been through therapy off and on several times. I was diagnosed with social anxiety and generalized anxiety disorder. Social anxiety means that I have a lot of trouble and I get very nervous when I'm having exchanges with people. And generalized anxiety disorder means that I have a lot of trouble and I get very nervous all of the other times as well. I'll just be like, oh, this party is too stressful. I gotta get home and worry everything's cancer. I have a lot of friends that have been in therapy. A lot of friends that I've been in some very, very dark places, actually. If I know a friend of mine is in a dark place, I always try and like all of their Instagram stories. Because I've been there before and I know what brought me back. It's not all bad though. It's not like there is, I hate to be all doom and gloom. Like I do have vague hope for the future. I see a silver lining. Like in the last stretch, 3 women I went to university with have both gone back to their maiden name and friended me on Facebook. So I got a good feeling about 2023, you know? I am solid second husband material. I'm not someone you start a life with, but I could be easily slotted into the life you built with someone else. I was trying to figure out the source of all my anxiety because I had a really great upbringing. I'm very, very lucky. One thing that always comes up for me is when I was a baby, I was a very sedentary baby. I didn't move much. I didn't cry at night. Apparently, I didn't cry when I was born. I wasn't so much a baby as I was a prop. But apparently, the first time I moved, the first time I rolled over, I rolled off of the bathroom counter and bounced headfirst off the edge of a clawfoot bathtub. I don't like telling people I fell on my head as a baby because of how often they respond with, that explains a lot. But I did it. I hit my head. My mom had just put me on the counter for a split second. She turned around to draw the bath, and for the first time in my life, I was like, I'll help! And I jumped over. And ended up spending 3 nights in the hospital. I had a hairline fracture. The first night was in the baby ICU, and you will never find a more solid group of kids than the babies in a baby ICU. You will never find a better group of dreamers. Those 2-week to 2-year-olds whose just their ambition just overstepped their motor skills by just a hair. Just a whole lot of, I can reach that without help, or I can shave. My mom she felt a lot of guilt. She shouldn't have, it was an honest mistake, but she felt a lot of guilt, and she became very, very overprotective of me. Which does make sense, because I had lost a fight to a hot bath. But she became so overprotective that for the first couple years of my life, I was sort of raised like a special needs kid. But I did have special needs, but most of them were dietary. Other kids would be like, why do you have to wear a helmet on the jungle gym? And I'd be like, I have trouble with cheese. I'm going to tell you one more story. Like I was saying before, I was in therapy for a long while. One of the main things I deal with, and I've already told you about this, is the social anxiety. Basically, Every time I'm talking to someone, I assume they want to get away from me as quickly as possible, so I try and help them with that. I pretty much just take on the role of like their wingman, rescuing them from me. But I was working on it with my therapist, and she was just like, Jake, you need to get past this. Like, people like talking to you. I like talking to you. If people didn't like talking to you, you wouldn't have made it this far. And it was actually like really good to hear. It's like just hearing the right thing at the right time. And we worked on this for a while, and one day I came in, and my therapist was like, Jake, I got some bad news. My husband's moving to New York. I'm going to be moving with him. But don't worry, we're going to set you up with a new therapist, and we'll try and finish what we started together here. And that's what happened. We spent the next 3 weeks kind of summing up all the projects we've been working on, and ended with us saying goodbye to each other, and actually felt like there was a nice closure to everything. It was cool. Came in the next week to meet my new therapist. I had to change the appointment at the last second from Thursday to Tuesday because of a mix-up. And when I got there, I saw that my original therapist was still there. She had not moved to New York. She had just shed me as a patient. Super awkward. She came up to me and she was like, Jake, I'm so sorry. I just had a really large caseload. Patients, doctors, they don't always mix. I should have been more honest. I'm sorry. And I was like, no, it's okay. It's okay. We've worked on this together. And I'm happy. And she was like, oh, thank God. You're happy with your new therapist? And I was like, no. I'm happy because when I woke up this morning, I thought I was going to therapy. But since you're here, I must be in New York. Everyone thinks New York is in America, but the locals know New York is one floor above a dental college near Vancouver General Hospital. What part of New York are we in, Carola? Is it Broadway? And she was like, Jake, you need to calm down. And I was like, say it's Broadway, Carola! And she was like, Jake, you're making a scene. And I was like, of course I'm making a scene! What better place to make a scene than Broadway? My name is Jake Spencer. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much.